So it's Friday and we're back with a brand new game. This time we're checking out Express Route from Op Games. This is all about delivering packages, but it's set in a kind of like futuristic way, but like futuristic like 50 years ago. So let's open this up, see what comes inside, and we'll talk a little bit about how to play the game. Okay. So I just love the design of this box. It's really nice. Ooh. A lot of detail in this box. If you look there, you got like the modes of transportation. Got a manual. I'm guessing this is the game board. Oh, so many punch tokens. More punch tokens. We have a bunch of, I'm guessing, starting place boards, maybe for players. And then we have deck cards. Last but not least, we have the tokens, and these are actually really good quality. I don't know if you can see, like it's a thickness. It's really nice. They are not cheap at all. They are really well built. So the player board is very large, to say the least, because it represents the US as a whole. On this board here is how the game is played. It's very important. You actually put the vehicles on the board in very specific places. So you put the plane here, you have the 3, you place this on the board in the 15 space. Yellow goes to Kansas City. Orange goes to Albany. Silver goes to San Francisco. Each player will get 3 of the batteries. And then the purple batteries are set aside for later in the game. For your gameplay, I love that. It's a reseal bag. That's very nice and helpful. You're going to take the event deck. Of course, separating between the two, there are event 2 and event 1s. You're going to shuffle these decks up, and then you're going to select 12 from each. And after you're done shuffling them, you'll put the 2 on the bottom. You'll put the 1 on the top. And you'll put them on the event deck right there. Then you have 2 additional decks. You have the specialist decks. These have special abilities, and then you have the upgrade decks. And you're going to actually spread these out on the board. So like these would be spread out on the left, and then these below it. Each player gets to pick 1 specialist to go with their vehicle. They have special abilities like once per turn, discard a delivered package to move any truck to a destination city of a package it is carrying, that package is immediately delivered. Once per turn, you may load a package onto a vehicle without using a control. You may activate each plane control up to 2 times per turn using any battery color. When drawing events, look at the top 2, choose one, resolve, and return the other to the top at the bottom of the event pile. This space saver may place a second package into the unoccupied capacity space in each vehicle. Into one occupied capacity space in each vehicle. That's cool. So you get to pick one of these to go with your vehicle. And these are the vehicle. So we have these cards which go on the side of the board. And on these, you can see here there are package slots on the vehicles. The plane, of course, having 2 to start with, all the other ones having 1, and then there's a lock. Now, you do have lock tokens that you can use to actually place locks onto items. I think it's necessary because placing that lock on there is going to help you know that you can't use that, and then you can always pick up the lock token and then be all like, now I can use it. So it's really important to that. You're going to keep track of the packages that are in the vehicles with these cards. And these are the packages here. As you can see, it just has a city on this side. Then you're going to flip it when you actually select it, and you will have the value of the package, the demand value. You'll have the destination city, and then you have the pickup city. So Minneapolis is where you start. And that's really important. So you have spots to place them on the board. Then you can go and pick these up in the city when they're there. Pick them really where they're going. And then once you do that, you can actually, once they're delivered, you can place them on your tracker, which is on the very top. When you pick up a package, it will basically affect your demand amount. Demand tracker is going to be very important because if you ever exceed past your demand amount, which has got a lock on it as well here at 36, the game will basically end. Another way the game will end will if you basically use all of the event cards. And then once you do there, if you have not filled up your package delivery board on the very top here, you lose. All of you lose because you're a team play game. You're not playing solo. The player cards that people have allows them on their turns to affect all of the vehicles. And as long as you have options available for them, you're able to do specific things. You're going to want to place trackers on vehicles that tell you how much they can do. For instance, they start off automatically with just 1 fuel and 1 load option on the vehicles. The reason for this specifically is that you can only move each vehicle 1, you can only load each vehicle 1, but you can only activate those vehicles if on your turn you choose to put batteries in certain areas. So for instance, if you have to get a package and you're trying to go there to where they're going, you could, for instance, say, I'm going to use 2 batteries on the silver, the Mach 1, and then 1 battery on the load. And that allows you to move the vehicle because it only has a movement speed of 1 now, 1 city, and then be like 2 spaces over and then load up 1 package or unload 1 package. So that's really kind of important what you're doing in regards to that. You're going to want to place those on that board to kind of let you know what you're doing with the vehicles before you actually start your turn, how you want to spend the movements and space for them. With regards to the game is upgradable. So if you were to basically get a package, you can place it in the tracker or you can spend it. And spending it is for upgrades. Upgrades can be really powerful. Like for instance, this one here, you spend for 1 package, all players gain 1 fuel they can put on their vehicles that basically allows their vehicles to adjust or upgrade. You also have all players plus one load. So you can increase the load for a vehicle to allow it to be more. This one is remove the leftmost lock token from the phone bank. All players exchange one regular battery for a purple battery. All players plus one battery. And so those are really kind of important. Just like upgrades you can basically do that actually increases your capability during the game, which is really important. Also in the game, there are specific challenges. They include things like a southwest destination region, northeast destination, odd demand, low demand, airport destination, different destination regions, same city, same origin city, and delivered on the same turn. If you're going to pick a couple of those to be placed randomly in those spots, and the only way you can fill the full tracker up is if you fill up these specific demand slots, which is really, really important. So, for instance, if you do deliver like 8 packages, and you've got your 4 like automatic fills, put them wherever you want here, but they weren't delivered on the same turn that you got them, then you can't place them in this box here, these 2 boxes. If they don't have the same origin city as delivery city, then you can't place them in these boxes. And so that makes you having to choose very specifically when you get packages where those packages are going. And you don't want to basically put them here if they belong over here. But these are harder to lock than these because these are basically whichever ones you want. At the start of the game, there are going to be packages that are very specific. So you want to take one package from 1 package from 2, package from 3, 4, and 5, and you're going to take them out of the collection and place them on their city of origin for them to be able to be picked up. Keep in mind that you do not showcase the destination in the demand value until you normally pick them up. But these ones, you get to know what they are before you start, and you get to place them on the board as kind of like a freebie. The rest are going to go through your collaring system and be placed in these slots, and then you have to basically deal with incoming callers. You do get to choose whether you want them to be the high demand packages or the low demand packages, and that's really kind of helpful in the game. This game reminds me a lot of things like Pandemic, but instead of basically dealing with diseases, you're dealing with packages, and it's all about trying to get them from one place to the other, collect them, and finish them before either the event deck ends or your demand exceeds your allowance on the demand tracker. On your turn, the turn is a very specific order. They actually give you turn order cards to make this easier. So you take orders from active callers, follow the instructions of the call center based on the current demand color, which basically means adding packages as needed. To adjust demand levels for the new packages. So as you basically reveal the packages, you will increase the demand. Reveal the top event card. Everyone will take an event card on their turn. This is breaking news. No travel in or out of Greensboro, North Carolina due to a hurricane. So on the board, is it Greensboro? You would not be able to go into Greensboro, travel through Greensboro, or exit Greensboro. So if you have a vehicle that's currently in Greensboro, it would basically be stuck. And you would leave that active for this event, for this player's turn. Then complete actions using batteries. You can choose to use your specialist ability, and then you can also choose optionally to spend packages to upgrade. If your tracker is filled with the 4 spots right there, and you do not have an additional spot, you do have to spend a delivery package. You can spend the one that you have, or you can spend one on the tracker to discard it to place the new one in there. And then you remove batteries from the control panel when you're done with your turn, and that's your turn. So it's pretty straightforward. Like I said, if you're able to fill this board up here on the top with packages before the end of your turn at the very end, then that right there is the end condition, you win. If you do run out of event cards, it's only when you have to flip over the event card at the beginning of the player's turn that you're out. So if you do expend the last event card on your turn, the team's not over until the next player's turn. So you can still finish the game on your turn in theory. So important to keep track of. Hopefully you guys find this interesting. I think this game, it's more complex than a lot of other games, but it's a good, solid co-op game that you play with multiple players. You can also play it solo, and they also have scenarios that make the game a little bit harder in the booklet as well, which is really cool. But for the most part, what you're doing here is you're playing a strategy game with your friends to try to deliver packages and beat the game. And it's cool. It's nice to see more multi-team games. I like games like Pandemic where you get to play with your friends as opposed to against them. So hopefully you guys found this helpful and you want to pick this up for yourself, and we will see you guys next time.